Yeah, I mean it does a good job. In fact, one of the cutscenes that you can't skip is them literally bombarding Earth. Oddly enough, the game actually requires you to choose, like, you know, the funniest thing is the game actually asks you before choosing Prometheus or the ARMD at the beginning part. It's basically an, are you sure you want to do this? Excuse me? Let's go. Although the nicest thing is being able to launch all of your missiles in Guardian mode means being able to hover and just destroy things is an option. It's one of those strategies you can't really do in Battlecry because of, you know, wanting to use heavy missiles more than light. But when they give you a lot of just heavy missiles, well, light missiles, because honestly I've only got 12 heavies, so, but, you know, so they made it, like, interesting. I just hate the fact that they literally, the transformation, it goes legitimately as if you were to stop in Guardian for a split second, whereas if you're figuring going from one to the other, you just basically would transform directly into that one. But overall, they did a good job with it. In my opinion, they did a good job with it. Plus, also, come on now. Plus, also, they gave an actual head cannon for the Battleoid mode, which is pretty good. That's what replaces the sniper rifle. Because the only way to truly target is, of course, in so that one there. So there's those there. Just take care of those. Okay, I've got one missile left for the boss, which is an officer's pod, so it's not that bad. Eh. You could hear me well enough on that one. Here we go, for the first mission. At least it actually gives you a bit of time to practice, although what's funny is the one mission that you would want to actually practice, the two missions that are actually great for practicing this game are literally on the harder routes. Just said, yeah, 245, not bad. Probably damaged for the reason why I didn't get the S. I do like 2. I do like Mission 2 because it's an interesting one. Just because it's the essential goal is essentially get to the target. That's it. Once you get through the dogfight piece, it's essentially get to the target. Which is cool. That there. There's get rid of him. Let's go to you. There's some interesting tech within this in the game. So that's one of the interesting things, is it's got some interesting tech. I mean, here's why I don't like the things. This is legitimately what they use the D-pad for alt camera angles. That's the fun thing. They did a good job with both. Come on now. You there, please. I like both games. They're fun. Do I think both could have done, taken a lesson from the others? Yes. I mean, the mobility is great on it. This one, yeah. And the thing is that honestly, you can swap between that and have the camera stuff on the stick. One of the options on that one. However, the nicest thing is it also controls altitude when you're in Guardian mode, so that is a benefit. When you're in Fighter, it just essentially is a mirror of it. That... should be good enough there. Plus it gives you an immediate button to hover. This isn't bad. There's those. Although you're really not encouraged to fire your gun in Fighter. That's the sad thing. Which is sad, but is what it is. Come on now. Let's go, come on. Just need for it to actually tell me I can go down for it. Come on. It's gotta give me the ability to land. But still. Also, even the GameCube controller had 2 sticks on that one. It's just how it was. That should be it. Not the cleanest. Come on, you. There we go. Now I just gotta dive straight down. This is one of the. This is an interesting part of it. I don't care about anything else. I just have to land on the SDF-1. In Battleoid mode, I might add. on now. There we go. Yeah, you actually have to be on them during the hyperspace fold, but don't care if it's not a good read on that one. There we go for that one there. Accuracy could have been way better. Although, I can do New Game Plus on that one, which essentially saves a little bit, but it's both stories unlocked. It's just, it makes more sense just have it as a, here's this, you know, especially for most things on that one. And the nicest thing is the reason why I have a credits split is the typical, okay, I'm going to, if I get 2 good times, I can divide it up into submitting it for 2 runs. The funniest thing was finding an actual guide for this game. Thank you, IGN, and my god, it's one of those guides, it's just like, it's amusing on how it's written, just because it was never updated after it was written, so, you know, it's a product of its time. Equivalent of an auto-scroller. Happy I managed to save a few minutes off of my first attempt at the ARMD route, just because I did not die to the in mission 6. Also, you can actually do a pure, you know, aerial style movement if you really want to, with flight mode being on normal. I'm choosing easy because honestly, you want to see a proper, like, okay, something like this anytime I need to actually move, you know, in fighter mode? I don't think so. So it does actually, it's one of those things, I can handle it myself. It's just, with the amount of aerial maneuvers and stuff like that, you know, you want to be doing. I don't think, viewers would want to see that one. Let's go. I mean, control scheme for it is actually interesting enough. Said, I like how both of them took the ideas and, you know, ran with it in 2 separate ways. Sega, you know, who actually worked on the game for this one, took it more in the Ace Combat style. You know, hence why fighters got a lot of different maneuvers and stuff like that. DDK, I believe, is one of the people that helped with Battle Cry. They took it in a completely different direction. Nothing's happened, you know, on stuff. Slide to local VOD. Both of them did a good job. It's the type of game that's just like, they both did a good job with how they approached it. Which is why I wish, you know, it's sad that they could have never worked it out together. So I wouldn't mind, you know, being able to actually handle a lot of cool things with both. There we go for that one there. there's a few bits of tech that you can do in this. Since you have to actually go through the transformation piece for it, it's essentially just it's a glorified auto-scroller. There we go for that one there. Okay. That's the one fun thing. Whoops. And the saddest thing is you have to actually play this without a memory card in your slot because the default after every battle is, do you want to save? And the default option is, yes! So it's more of a, if you bash fast enough, you might accidentally save, and saving in this game is a bit long. I'll get turned around in here. I just have to get to the target. Pacing in time. Let's go. This is one of the things just don't. Come on. Try to avoid things, but it is what it is. All I have to do is get to the location in time. Yeah, this is the one mission where I need to actually remember that I'm going to have to adjust my TV's coloring. Not switch coloring, but the brightness. Take it out of game mode. Come on, I can make it. I don't want to restart this. 6. Come on. In the nick of time. The nick of time. In the nick of time. Let's go. Just an update. Yep. Okay, there we go for that there, come on. This one's based off the what? Goodbye Saturn, I think is the name of the episode. Gotta prevent missiles from hitting the SDF-1. Okay. Just gotta last until the bombardment's over. Which is that hard to do. This is the easy route. So I currently doing the hard route first is because of the boss fight. The end of the boss fight and the last 2 missions, because it's more of the, if you want to restart, it's like, it's easier to do the shorter of the 2 routes. do like how they handled everything in that one. I mean, it's interesting how they handled it, and they did it in an interesting way. So I do wish we had more Robotech games and more Macross games here in the States. I mean, heck, I'd love to see, although it's never going to happen, both parties ever just, you know, do something nice together. I mean, heck, there's so many interesting things they could have done. Okay. This is just basically for them to punch into the ship. Yeah, Macross in robot form punching a ship. It's an interesting look. On. Yeah, I know. I know. Yeah, decades, basically. I mean, heck, I just, you know, I'd love... The best thing I have to say is I wish when they had gone back, in history, when they had tried to do Robotech 2 Sentinels, I wish that had worked out. Because although that one would have clearly just like... That not working out, just... That altered so much. And I am not going to be the person to say, you know, both sides were affected on that one. And that's the thing on that one. I think honestly, that's one, like, had that worked out, that would have been amazing. Come on now. Heck, I'd love for them to actually be able to, even at some point, reboot the series. They could actually do it and make it just, you know, really good, but they really won't. Okay, let's go. Once you have something locked on Guardian, you can actually just spam missiles with it. Let's go, you. There we go for that one there, so that works. I know. I know, but at the same point, at present I believe they actually did adjust it so that way the only official thing right now is at present the show plus the one movie. But Nah, it's like I could see them altering a lot of small things to just get it to work out, even if it has to be, you know, a few other alterations on it. But I still think both would actually be cool. You know, I'd love for Macross to be able to be out in the States and Robotech to have its own thing as well, so that both work out. I mean, sort of like how some of the Gundam shows are basically like just, you know, alterations of like, you know, different universes, stuff like that. I mean, heck, did you ever hear what the original creator of Gundam wanted to do with the original show? There's an entire manga arc that is essentially him doing what he wanted for that, which his original idea was like Bright actually turning traitor. Part of it. I mean, there are some things where it's just like, you know, several things could have been done on that one. No, that's sort of just like the so many little things on that, but it's like I think both have, you know, both exist on that one, both, you know, should exist on that one, especially with how they handled each thing. Yeah, essentially it's one of those things, it's just like, as I said, there was actually a manga out there that is part of how the original creator wanted it, and it's just like, there's some interesting ideas on that one. That just, you know, I mean, heck, one thing I always have to say is with this, I consider, like, you know, part of Robotech to be like, you know, if you followed the same pieces on it, just like what would have happened if Rick, you know, had gone instead of, you know, at least in some parts of it, like instead of Max. As far as, you know, post stuff goes. I mean, there's several things they could have done to actually make it, you know, a lot more interesting on both things. Heck, I would love to, you know, if they ever rebooted the series, I'd love for them to actually just go back and just, like, start with, like, a prequel piece to, like, you know, showing, like, the end of, like, the Global War and stuff like that. I mean, heck, you could even throw in, like, you know, with Global and, Global, what? Roy and hell, you could even throw Jack in there, just that way they could add in some of the stuff from Battle Cry. Because that'd be interesting, because technically all three of them, you know, were there during the end of that. So having something like that could be amazing. And to do that there, then you do some of the other stuff. I mean, heck, if they ever did that, I could see them doing something crazy with it. Not only that, but they would allow them to actually expand upon the story on so many different levels, because you take the main events, you also have side stuff that you can show, like, you know, split off between more stuff like that and make it more just a unique setup. But, hey, there's Min-Mei on that one. You know, there are some parts where it's just like, I'd love to see them, you know, actually fix some of that stuff. And it's one of the reasons why I always encourage everybody to check out Macross on top of the, on top of Robotech that are fans of both things, because both are great. It's looking at stuff from different perspectives, and that's always an interesting thing. Let's go. I don't remember what 7 is. Oh yeah, this one. Where I have to defend a cat's eye. At least it's better than the movie one where you actually have to pilot that thing. Well, the modified version of it in Valkyrie form would help. The way I always considered it was the way, you know, Valkyries, you know, basically got their nickname was basically, you know, basically being, that's nice, but they're more like, you know, are like, you know, basically nicknaming them at some point and just the nickname sticking. Guess it does actually sound better in that one as a nickname. Let's go. That's so. Let's go. There we go. And now I've got to make sure to not use missiles for the part here. Let's go. This is a boss that I can't really use missiles on because of the fact of being so close to the cat's eye that they take damage. If I do, and it blows up, you immediately lose, and it's those things is just like it's then your fault. One of the reasons why Gundam basically ends the way it is because of, you know, I believe the original thing was it got canceled. But I'd have to look at my history on that one. That should be enough to get rid of you. There we go. That's good. Yep. It's not going to be a good grade, but honestly, unless it's 100%, which essentially requires getting all cards and S rank, basically you need an S rank for all 20 missions to get Roy's card. It's a I don't care. It's more of the you don't care on that one because, well, there we go for that one. 8. I'm trying to remember which one it is on that one. As it's, there's things that just, it's one of the dog fights, I believe. What's this? Oh yeah, now I remember. This is I have to get to the that to a certain point after this one. After fighting all the enemies. Let's go. That should kill them all. Thank you, explosions. Okay. More about knowing when to use your explosions to actually, you know, the missile radius to actually get through multiple enemies. Go for that one there. Quick shot there. Go for those, so yep. Gotta get to location. That one. Just gotta get. Oh yeah, that's right. Now I have a boss. Can't should save the missiles. Oh well. Thought there's a boss fight here. Let's go, you.
Okay.
Let's go, you. Gotta just keep this up on it. There we go. There's the boss taken care of. Yep, 8. And got those parts there. So just gotta fly through the rest of it. So just gotta sit around and just wait till the end. They made so Guardian can actually go backwards in this. As I said, both did an amazing job on bits of the game. It's like, I wish that they had been able to work together on it. Oh yeah, that's right, I gotta get to the point there. Yep, gotta do that one there. So, gotta get to this point and immediately transform. Yep. Precise thing on that one. There we go. It's a bit precise on getting that one, but once you get it, it's good. Let's get the save. Good. Did not drop the cap with my water. Yep. Finally make it back to Earth. So let's go.
パプル小隊はマクロス上空の敵部隊を殲滅しろ。
Yeah. Can't do anything right now. That's what Max's wife. I'm remembering the lore.
隊長がいない時だからこそしっかりやれ。はい、分かってます。ご心配無用。
Let's go for those. Okay, so there's all those. Yep.
こちらバーミリオン。
Go. Yep, so there's those. Just gotta use the explosions for what I've got. Let's go. Transforming back, so we gotta just keep up the pressure. Go for those.
まずい。くそ。
So all that's left is trying to know if there's a boss on this one or not.
前期マクロスへ向かえ。
Yeah, I'm on 10.
戦闘エリア制限を更新します。マクロス周辺の敵機を排除してください。
Yeah, coming up was a boss fight if I recall correctly. Shows you how long it's been since I've played this route. It's been a little bit, but still. Go for that there. of those. And then do that, because quick targeting is a thing in this game. Essentially, quick targeting is once you got locked onto a missile, you can just keep spamming it and it'll actually just keep targeting the same enemy. It's quick targeting. All quick targeting because honestly that's all you have to do sometimes for it. It is. It's the Macross game for the PS2. JP only, sadly, but I believe you can get it emulated. I just happen to have a JP PS2, unless you got one modded, but sort of closer to, you know, Sega made this one, so it's a bit closer to Ace Combat than Battlecry, but does have some more, you know, interesting maneuverability stuff, but has some, you know, problems where like your transform buttons are on the right, are basically L2 and R2, which is not really good. But it does. It's like both this and Battlecry have like both good and bad things. Like Battlecry clearly has the better transformation system. And also the fact that you can actually lock on to enemies. You're not encouraged to fire your gun unless it's in Battleoid. Although Guardian's got a lot more interesting options to it. Mind you, I'm using the easy flight control option because let's go from here. It's a very good game. I mean, I prefer Battlecry for, you know, transformation abuse. But you can't, you know, fault, you know, both games for having that kind of stuff. I mean, transformation buttons are here. Meaning, if you want to transform, you have to actually use, you know, L and R. Those. Which is a bit interesting here and there. Though, nice S. Plus also the in-game timer for this is very good, so. You know, it's like I wish that they had just thought, oh wait, let's put the transformation buttons on the actual D-pad. Would have made it 10 times better. Arrive at bursting point. To put it in rough perspective for Battlecry. Some tech you really can't use in Battlecry since both, you know, use the same missile pool, and if you want heavy, you're limited on those. So it's actually, using basically hovering with Guardian to actually just, you know, use missiles is actually a strategy in here, unlike the, as I said, unlike Battlecry where you can't do that one. Oh crap. I forgot a split apparently. Yeah. I miscounted my numbers. Oh well. Means I just split the last two stages. can adjust it post. Are you all there? Yeah. Said. Yeah, screwed up. Forgot to split. Just counted my math on that one. Still. Oh, you want to see what they did instead? Yeah, that's what they did for the D-pad. You tell me if you really need it. And although they give you like a few control options, let's put it this way: 2 of them have it for the shoulder button, you know, for the shoulder buttons, and the other one has it for these. Cinematics! Cinematic! Yeah, they gave you different camera angles. Gonna have to remember to not split on the next 2 after this mission. Okay, where is it? Okay, come on. Where is it? Come on, where is it? Gotta find it. Oh, there they are. Gotta do this before Macross gets destroyed. Come on now. First one. Yeah, you have to actually take out, you know, carries on that one. But said both games have their pros and cons. Both are interesting on how they handled the source material and how they, you know, did it. And that's one thing I do have to say. I do like how each of them had their own unique take on it. Second of them. Okay, so here's that one. Yep, over here's the next one. Said both of them did good on that one. I'd say they both did a, you know, fair job of representing the source material. You know, and could you imagine being a game dev and being told, oh yeah, we're making a flight, you know, a game with transforming mechs. How do you want to handle that? That's supposed to be 3D, not 2D. That's more of just like, you figure, you know, if you think of it that way, both of them did what they could and just chose what they thought would work best. Sega took inspiration from Ace Combat. You know, the other company did, you know, they came up with some interesting setups, you know, of their own. As I said, both of them took inspiration from different things. Both of them did a good job. Let's go, come on. There's half of it. be all of them.
かなりの砲台を潰したぞ。マクロスは大丈夫か。
Yep, all four exploding.
砲台は減らしたが、それでも相当な攻撃にさらされているからな。
Yep. That's defending it that way.
フィールド安定回路にトラップ。
Yeah, and that's one of those things. It's just like, you know, it's one of those things. It's like I wish both had actually been able to work together because it's interesting. Here's where I'm inside the ship on this route. Slightly over 2 hours, if I'm not mistaken, on the math.
敵は
This isn't
12
bad.
方向に3回して接近中。パープル小隊は本艦左舷前方を守れ。
Because both things being locked to the same missile amount, it's being able to actually hover in battle, you know, hover in Guardian and just fire on waves of enemies is a strategy. Yep, there's that there. There's that.
敵艦がマクロスに接近しているぞ。艦
Boss.
隊戦を仕掛ける気なのか。
No.
デストロイド隊はダイダロスアタックをいつでもかけられるように待機せよ。
Got some missiles in that one.
ダイダロスアタックをかけるつもりのようだ。
Dodge those there. There's one. Through there. So get rid of you. There's that, so that goes with that one. Essentially the equivalent of a Macross punch. Essentially that is exactly what it is.
変だな。いつもなら敵艦はこれで爆発してしまうの。
Through there, it should get you.
こちらガンサイト1、緊急事態発生。バトルポットが右舷より侵入。560機が内部破壊活動中。
なんてことだ。一体どうして。
Yeah, that one there.
右舷からということはダイダロスからだ。敵はダイダロスアタックを逆手にとって罠を仕掛けたんだ。
パープル小隊聞いての通りよ。
You
エリア内の敵を大至急相当して
go
危
away,
険して
please.
ふざけた真似を。隊長、さっさと片付けて戻りましょう。
Let's go for that one there. Missile trails are still good. Yep. Excuse me. I would call Battle Cry more of a. It's closer to what they were trying to go for like some of, for some of the side material on that
エリア
one.
内の敵殲滅を確認。パープル小隊は帰還してください。
Battle Cry is. I like the way that they handled Battle Cry. It's a good way to actually do a good, solid entry on that one. Especially since I believe at some point Jack did manage to get into the comics.
艦内へのミサイル兵器
Yes,
使
I
用を
heard he
禁
did.
止。攻撃はガンポットとレーザーガンで行ってください。
敵の電波妨害のためレーダーが機能しません。レーダーが
Okay,
使え
where's
る
the
よう
next
に
set
な
of
る
enemies
ま
on
で
that
こちらで誘
one?
導します。敵へ1時の方向、前方右寄りです。
Come on. Come on, I've got to remember where they are.
敵へ8時の方向、左手後方です。マクロス損壊率 10%。パープルリーダー、急いでください。
Okay, there's you. Gotta figure out where the last part is. Hey, give me a second.
敵へ1時の方向、前
Come
方
on
右寄
now,
りです。
where are you? Ah, there you are.
マクロス損壊率
Yeah, I can't use missiles in here. Sadly,
急いでくださ
you
い。
can't. They're inside the SDF-1. They will not. Of course, they won't let you use missiles in it.
敵へ9時の方向、左手です。敵へ11時の方向、前方左寄りです。
Get all here. Honestly,
敵へ9時の方向、
I always tell people to support both
マクロス損壊率
because
30%。
both were very good, series as a whole.
敵へ
I
11
do
時の
like
方
how,
向、前方
you
左
know,
寄りです。
a lot of the characters aren't, meant to be children in
損
Macross.
壊率 40%。
I mean, they did tone down, the way Roy is.
居住ブロックの敵、殲滅を確認しましたが、敵はエンジンブロックにも侵入しているようです。
And that's one of those things just like,
これより
come on, where are
一時
you?
的に解放するので内部に侵入し敵を掃討してください。
Come on. Here we go.
パープルリーダー、急いでください。
Come on.
機体損傷。
I mean, honestly, I have to say, if they ever redo Robotech with some of the more adult, versions of characters, I think you'd have a lot more interesting stuff with it.
敵へ12時の方向、前方です。
Okay, that is it. Okay, where are
敵
you
へ4時
enemies?
の方向、右手後方です。機体損傷。艦内の敵はほぼ殲滅。残りは追い出せたみたいよ。念のためエンジンブロックの奥まで見回りをお願いします。
That's one of the interesting things on it. Here you are.
エンジンブロック最深部に敵機を発見。こいつら攻撃してきませんね。なんか様子がおかしいぞ。撃たないでくれ。私たちに攻撃の意思はない。
変です。侵入した敵に
Sentinels was actually good. I have to say, honestly, I'm a fan of it. Just because, honestly, the story context, that one is, if that had actually taken off, how much that would have affected pop culture as a whole. Because some of the original idea was to legitimately have part of the stuff done at the same time. Which, in all honesty, is something that they planned on trying to. Well, I believe they were trying to get it done for both English and Japanese at the same time. Which you didn't see that later on until Space Dandy, which was a few years back. Something trying to go with that one. So yeah,
マクロス戦闘員につけ
that is true.
センター D 軍兵士ロリー・ドセル以下
Oh well, I'll have to retime this part.
への亡命を希望
This is
する
not the end of the game, and I screwed that up.
亡命だと
Oh well, I'll have to retime the last bit of it. My fault on that one, because I've got one mission left to do. And I am not... Sucks when you screw up a split on that one, but still. Yeah, that's annoying for me. Yeah. I'll have to retime the last part of it.
400
I'll have to retime the last part of it. There's one mission left, and I'll have to just retime the last part and add it to the stuff on it. So he's just splitting on that one. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'll have to do that. Luckily, in-game time is what's used for the leaderboard. So that is a good thing. Essentially, we are at the equivalent of the end of Chapter 1 in Battle Cry. Okay, let's go. So, as I said, I'll have to fix this. Fix the RTA time later, but it's okay. That's what retiming is for. All this, I'm grabbing a drink. The whole planet. Said, luckily in-game time is for this part, so go for those. Go for those. Go. Yep, asteroid ship. This is I don't have to retime the last bit of it. I'll just take the total time for that one from when I stopped it to the end of the game. That one. Well, end of the mission, so. God, I just did the order on that one, 2, 3. Yeah, skipped 4 on that one. So that's what it was. Oh, oops.
Macross よりブリタイアドクラス艦隊機関ノプティパナリスへブリタイ司令おられますか。ブリタイが
Let's go.
司令マクロス艦長グローバルよりお話があります。
大使そちらの艦隊で林民名の歌を同時翻訳して全軍用周波数を使って発信していただきたい。それは構わぬが一体何か。
踊る機関艦隊の兵士たちはプロトカルチャーの実態を知りません。そこで彼女の歌を流せば彼らはカルチャーショックを受け一時的にせよ指揮系統を混乱させることができるはずです。
その混乱に乗じて踊りの奉還を正面から戦って勝てる相手ではありません。 よろしい。歌を流せば我が兵士の士気も上がりましょう。
Let's go. There we go. There's the giant rock ship.
反応弾の使用を許可します。敵艦を撃破してください。ターゲット反応弾の射程内に捕捉。
Yeah. That. Did I miss it? That takes one more shot. Means I missed the first hit of it. Oh well, there we go. There we go. So I'll just have to retime the last part of it. It's okay. Missing a stage on that one. I should have realized that earlier, but oh well. Let's go. Final stage time. Probably put it at 2:30 for any marathon submission. This is why I said they do a very good job versus the not get caught in my own explosion. As I said, I have to say this is why I said they do an amazing job with this. Still. That's what I said. Okay, dodge all the enemies there. We've got like 5 of them to do. Out of there. It is a giant explosion. Enough for that one. I think there's like 3 or 4 of these I've got to take out, so. Come on. Gotta do that one. Yeah, that would be insane on that one. Come on. There's that. It's the second of the ships. What, 4 of them? And then I want to take a restart. Let's go. Out of there. So that's 1 hit. Yeah. Let's go. Out of there. That's another one down. As I said, I'm going to have to retime that part for this, but still. I have to say, this versus Force of Arms, this does actually look like a better mission. you know, as far as just like what you got to deal with. Maybe the 1S it's super.
ターゲット反応弾の射程内に捕捉
Reason why I'm turning away is this, you see how big of an explosion those things give you. It's not even funny.
敵戦
Okay,
艦を
what's
撃沈
left?
あと一隻です
Let's go. I've got to make sure to not waste all of my mega missiles because that's on that one.
ターゲット反応弾の射程に入りました機体損傷
Crap. Just take the damage hit, just take the damage hit, just take the damage hit. Please don't overdo it. I got 2 shots left.
艦を撃沈
And that's... Yep! Got it. This would be RTA time.
全反応兵器
Said
スタン
stop
バイ
too
オ
early on that one, but yeah.
ポイントバリア監視に収束
いよいよ
Said RTA time is last, you know, mission accomplished screen. I'll have to retime that part, but still, that's both stories. And around, I'd say, what, 2:15-ish, give or take? Maybe a little less than. Splitting early on top of that one. Thanks. Thanks. Thanks as well. As I said, I've got to adjust the... I'll have to adjust the final time on that one for the RTA timing. Just to throw it in there, but in-game time is just so good on the timers for this one, so it's so easy to actually do proper in-game timing on it. Unlike Battle Cry, where timing's all over the place and you actually have to do exit out to the menus. You know, 100%'s gotta be RTA in this game because you're required to beat the tutorial to unlock one of the cards. So, all cards, which is essentially 100%, is a thing. It helps to some degree, so I'll have to adjust that a little bit. I'll have to adjust that a tiny bit. Probably, what, at least 15 minutes is off of that one, so... Yeah, God, I'm trying to think. 28... Probably like a 2:13, if I'm doing the math correctly, give or take. That does help on that one. This allows me to do this. Ah, crap. There we go. I can just put a marker on that one for the stream timer and just check from there, because I can then just adjust and add the time from when I split to when the marker is to get through that one. So that really does help on that one. Let's see, what did I get for the final results? A overall. Okay. 1T. 1-4. Don't need to save on that one.